Welcome back. Well, the markets are doing well, but let's talk about a good news. Rural and urban FMCG demand, which was suffering in equal measure as inflation was biting. Now, that's the word coming in from Marico chairman Harsh Mariwala, who, speaking to CNBC-TV18's Jude Sanith, also said that when it comes to price revision, it is the market leaders who will have to take the lead. Let's listen into excerpts from that conversation.
As I see it, it's just not rural, it's urban as well as rural. There may be a marginal difference between urban growth rates and rural growth rates, but the difference is minimal. I think the problem really is inflation. Because if the inflation is high, what happens is at the household level, if they will have to start compromising.
So correct me if I'm wrong, so as far as both urban and rural sectors are concerned in terms of demand itself, you're saying it's equally abysmal on account of inflation?
Rural may be marginally higher, but urban also is not in such a great shape.
Do you see the trend of price hikes that have been quite prevalent, especially in FMCG, actually seeing some cooling off, you know, if inflation does come under control?
Of course, because ultimately FMCG sector has to drive growth. To me, growth is more important. And if I go on taking up prices, I'm forced to take up prices. But if I go on taking up prices, it is going to impact my growth. So I have a trade-off between growth and profits. And to that extent, to some extent, you know, we'll have to ensure that the prices don't go so high that the growth gets impacted. You know?
Absolutely. Let me stick my neck out and say then, do you also see FMCG companies going so far as to reverse price hikes and cut down on...
There's nothing wrong in reversing price hikes.
But you see it happening?
I think it depends on individual players and depending on the competitive environment in that particular category of products. A lot of it depends on the market leader. So if you are a leader in a category of products and if you reduce prices, automatically all the weaker players or shall I say, they will follow the market leader. If the market leader is not taking up the prices, taking down the prices, then others selectively, some may take down the prices, some may not. So a market leader's behavior also plays a very important role in driving prices down, especially if the raw material prices are cooling off.
But the question remains, sir, do you think market leaders will have the room to actually compromise on margins and go about cutting down on prices?
I think a lot will depend on to what extent have they taken up the prices which during inflation, and were they able to take it up to the same extent or lesser extent. So I don't have data on all that for the sector, but I think if they have been able to take up the prices to cover their margins, then I don't see anything wrong in reducing prices.
All right, so festive demand and demand for FMCG goods, that's to be watched out for. Remember, with inflation, demand destruction is also something which is a macro factor that the economy is trying to deal with. Quick look at the market before we wrap up on the show. And yes, there has been a little bit of more gain on Nifty 50, 267 points gain at the moment. Sensex with 1.67% gain. And Bank Nifty is the one which has really been taking a charge, 2.65% up. Hindalco has been a star performer after a brokerage report gave it a buy rating today. And that is zooming in trade close to 5%. But it is the financials which really are in the spotlight today after the RBI governor's speech. So keep an eye out on the market. With that, it's a wrap from Sonal, me and the entire team of Business Lunch. But keep it here. Midcap Radar is coming up.